in the uniform of our nation's veterans. Roberto Bobby Barrera is truly an extraordinary man who knows how to get the job done. Bobby has been the man out front in the veterans community for a number of years. He is the immediate past National Commander of the Disabled American Veterans and currently serves as chairman of the organization's board of directors. Bobby is a combat disabled U.S. Marine Corps veteran of the Vietnam War. He was seriously injured in 1969 when enemy forces exploded a 500-pound bomb beneath the armored personnel carrier he was traveling in. The explosion and fire that ripped through the vehicle burned Bobby over 40% of his body. Battling courageously to overcome the physical and mental challenges he faced, Bobby earned his bachelor's degree in psychology at St. Mary's University and later earned a Master of Education degree in guidance and counseling at Sul Ross State University. In addition to teaching high school, his career has included positions of leadership and management as a juvenile probation counselor and as the director of the Family Support Center at Laughlin Air Force Base in Texas. Bobby has received numerous awards and honors, among them the DAV Outstanding Disabled Veteran of the Year and Life's Presidential Unsung Hero Award. Bobby is a leader, but his humility and his compassion have touched the lives of fellow disabled veterans and their families as few others have done. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to present to you Bobby Barrera.
Thank you so much, Mr. Secretary. And a good morning to everyone.
Good morning.
This is truly a remarkable day. We are here to mark a major milestone in the quest to create the first national memorial honoring the service and the sacrifice of our nation's disabled veterans. And I want to thank each one of you for being here with us this morning. The American Veterans Disabled for Life Memorial that will rise from the ground that we break today will make a very, very powerful statement. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? Mike. It means I need to talk loudly. Last year, we participated in a flyover at the Indy 500 race as the opening ceremony. A two-ship of B-25's bombers flew over the race ceremonies. However, on the 2 days before the actual race, orientation flights in these aircraft, World War II B-25 bombers, were provided to certain VIPs. And I say the most important of those VIPs were returning troops who had been injured in Iraq and in Afghanistan. One of these men that was present had been paralyzed from the waist down. His father pushed the young man in his wheelchair. To enter the B-25 bomber, one has to climb up a steep ladder under the belly of the aircraft. I had already flown in it, so I knew what a challenge it would be for this young man to enter the aircraft. And I kept thinking to myself, how is he going to enter this aircraft? When it was time for the young man's flight, the father rolled the wheelchair right under the aircraft. He walked around, knelt in front of the wheelchair with his back to his son. The son leaned forward, grabbed his arms, grabbed his father by the neck and by the shoulders, and he leaned forward as much as he could. Then, with his son on his back, the father climbed up the ladder on the aircraft. That moment took me back some 40 years when I began my journey as a disabled veteran. At that time, during those years, I too was carried. When I thought that I could not take another step, when I thought that everything was so dark, when I thought that I had not a future, when I thought that I could not continue my life, I was carried. Now, you might ask, why do I share this story with you? Because what we are doing today, breaking ground for this memorial, is a direct reflection of all disabled veterans and their journeys that began when they answered the call to duty. Those journeys continue throughout their honorable service, through the trauma of injuries, and it continues today through their recovery and their renewal of purpose. What that father did for his son in Indianapolis that day clearly demonstrated that he would never abandon his son. This memorial that you are building clearly demonstrates that the American people will never abandon our nation's disabled veterans. Within full view of the Capitol, the American Veterans Disabled for Life Memorial will be a poignant reminder that our nation has a duty, as the Speaker and the Secretary have pointed out, that our nation has a responsibility, those who have given so much of themselves. All who serve share the horror, the brutality, and the hardships of defending our nation, especially true in wartime. All have given of themselves, some to great degrees. The memorial is intended to bring a greater awareness of what disabled veterans have already sacrificed for us. But more than that, the American Veterans Disabled for Life Memorial is also a tribute to what disabled veterans can accomplish. Disabled veterans know the challenges of rebuilding and resuming productive lives. They have not only overcome their disabilities, but they have excelled in life. Those before you today, those of you who are out in the audience, are the fine examples of what I am sharing with you. The memorial will not only honor the disabled veterans of all 5 branches of service. By the way, happy birthday, Marines. It will also educate the public and remind the nation about vital issues concerning disabled veterans, because the American public cannot be allowed to simply forget disabled veterans once the wars have ended, and then the media turns their attention to other topics. Throughout our history, we have erected monuments to our heroes, and we see that in this city. That traditional display of admiration for valor has come up short in honoring America's disabled veterans who continue to bear the deepest wounds and the scars of war long after the guns have fallen silent. By honoring these men and women, this memorial will be a solemn declaration that America is forever grateful to her disabled veterans. A declaration that America will never forget their service and will never forget their continued sacrifice. With the generous support of you, the organizations, the American Veterans Disabled for Life Memorial will soon become one of our nation's most treasured landmarks. Thanks again to each of you who have joined us in this journey. Together, we are making this dream a reality. And I take great pride on behalf of all our nation's disabled veterans. From deep within our hearts, we say, thank you, America. Thank you.